How are we doing, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today I am showing off a bug that has happened to the Ninja since the last patch. I've been going crazy these last 2 weeks thinking I'm making input errors, but I finally figured out what the issue is. It's not input errors, it's not my controller, it's actually a bug. So it's to do with Ghost Step Stomp. If I turn combat assistance off, as you can see, I can do Ghost Step Stomp with no issues. I'm going to do it a couple times here. You can do a sidestep stomp there. I'm going to do another sidestep stomp here. No issues. I'm going to do a back ghost step stomp. I'm going to have absolutely no problems with it. As you can see, zero issues, right? However, if I come to settings and I turn combat assistance on, I'm going to have a lot of issues. So I'm going to do forward ghost step stomp. I'm going to have no issues. So this is absolutely fine. This has no problems. I'm going to do side ghost step stomp now. And as you can see, I'm doing slow stomp. Every single time I do a side ghost step stomp near an enemy, it does slow stomp. Every time without fail. Another one, which is even worse, is if I do back ghost step stomp near an enemy, it literally does beheading of the dead. I'm not doing anything different as from the beginning of the video, okay? I've been using this cancel since it's been available on Awaken Ninja, which is roughly when Succession came out on PC, with no problems. I'm doing nothing different, and every single time without fail, a back go step stomp if beheading is off cooldown will do beheading, and a slow stomp if it's on cooldown, if the beheading is on cooldown. A side stomp always without fail does a slow animation every single time. And the forward stomp is fine. But here's another interesting one. If I'm not near anyone, everything's back to normal. So when I'm not close to an opponent, so when the combat, it's something to do with combat assistance. When I'm not in range of the opponent, all the stomps in all directions work. So let me just do a back stomp. As you can see, I've got no issues. It's only when I'm in range. And another one is after certain skills. So let me show you. After like a fatal blow, it's 50-50. Right there, it didn't work. But most of the time, I say 50-50. It's more like 80-20. Most of the time, after the fatal blow, the stomp works. So, like that, it's fine. But it's after, like, just doing it normally. So, just for me doing it normally here, it just doesn't work. Like, without fail, 100% of the time, it's always a slow stomp if I go to the side, and it's always a beheading of the dead if I go backwards. So I'm on an Xbox Series X. Can you do back stomps? So he already knows what I'm talking about. We've been here for quite a minute. Now it's saying it works. So he's on an Xbox Series, an Xbox One S. So on Xbox One S, it's different. The back go step stomp, it doesn't do the beheading, but it does the slow animation. So as you can see, he's doing back go step stomp, and he's doing the slow animation every time. I think he got confused a bit earlier on because he was far away from me. Like I said, when you're far away from someone, it works as normal. When you are out of range of an opponent, it works as normal. Just to let him know, because he's getting confused now why it is and why sometimes it's working and sometimes it's not. So when you're out of range, like I've said, it works normally, but when you're in range, it doesn't work. Like for him, so if he's in range now and he's looking at me, you can see it does slow stomp. See, when he wasn't in range of me, he was doing the quick one, and when he's in range, he's doing the slow one. So now watch. No problem when he's out of range. Can you do... So now he's going to do side stomp. But he doesn't do beheading. So on the Xbox One S, it just does slow stomp, but it doesn't do beheading. And as you can see, when he's not in range, it's fine. It's not a problem. But when he's in range, well, the forward stomp, he did the forward stomp there. So forward stomp is fine. That's not got any issues. It's just the sides and the back. For some reason, like on Xbox, and on an Xbox One S, it doesn't do beheading on the back stomp. It just does slow stomp and on the back go step. So that's definitely an issue. Now, I've had other issues, but I can't get them to work. This is ever since the last patch, I've had a bunch of input issues. And like I said, I thought it was my controller or me making mistakes. I thought it was me making mistakes, but it's by the looks for this specific problem anyway, it's definitely a combat assistance issue. Now, other issues I've had is sometimes when I'm moving really fast, it just happened right there. I just tapped A. I can't get this one to work every single time, but right there I tapped A and it did a concealment after the smoke screen, and it shouldn't. What should normally happen is it should just do the smoke screen without the concealment. Right there, concealment's on cooldown. So let me try that again. Maybe if that's how I'm on range, it does that again. Let's test it. No. See, it's like this one, I can't make it work every time. Doing the smoke screen sometimes just does smoke screen straight into concealment. And I'm tapping it. I'm tapping this every single time. I tapped that for a split second right there, and I did concealment right after. I don't know. Hopefully this is another issue with combat assistance. I'm going to be PvPing for the rest of the week with this off, and hopefully that fixes that issue as well. Let's try to see if we can make it work again. No, it didn't work that time. I don't know. I honestly don't know. It's just annoying because you don't want to do. See, right there, I tapped it. It seems like if you linger a little bit before pressing smokescreen, and you're close to an opponent, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Let me try that again. So without lingering, it seems to be working fine. But then if I linger it, it doesn't work. Yeah, so that seems to be the issue with that. I don't know if that's a combat assistance issue though. So if I turn combat assistance off, let's try that again. Okay, he's got a bounce. So I just lingered at that time with combat assistance off, and it seemed to not have an issue. So that could be, if combat assistance is on, that's the issue. Yeah, because I lingered at that time before pressing it, and it didn't do. So when I say linger, what I'm meaning is after the ninja step, I'm waiting like a split second before pressing concealment. So I'm waiting a second, and now I'm pressing it. Okay. So let's turn combat assistance on. Let's see if we can get this to do it consistently wrong. So if I turn combat assistance on. Yeah, okay, so now I can make this work every single time. So as you can see, if you wait a second before activating the smoke screen, it does the concealment, which is definitely a problem. Now let me do it away from him to see if it's still the same issue. So when I'm away from him, it now works as normal as intended. So there you go. There's another issue right there. I'm going to try it one more time with a linger. Yeah, every single time. Every single time it does that. That shouldn't happen. This is a pretty annoying bug right here. And another one, this one I can't, I've tried a few times to get it to work, is after, when I do ankle cutter, it does fox claw instead of the movement when I press right trigger. But I don't know. This is literally when it only happens when I'm going really fast. So maybe this could be an input error from me. But before 2 weeks ago, I have never ever accidentally done a fox claw instead of doing an ankle cutter movement, even when I'm moving really fast. But this one, I can't get that one to let's see, maybe it's the same. No. I just can't get this one to repeat, unfortunately. But that's two definite bugs. So one is the Shadow Stomp does not work. The Shadow Stomp does not work with combat assistance on if you're in range of your opponent. When you're using side Shadow Stomp, it does a slow Shadow Stomp. When you use back Shadow Stomp, it literally just doesn't even do Shadow Stomp. It does Beheading of the Dead. Back Shadow Stomp with back Ghost Step Shadow Stomp with Beheading on cooldown does Slow Stomp. And the Smokescreen, so if you do it... Okay, that time it just did it as well. So the Smokescreen... Okay, let me try that again. The Smokescreen, if you're in range... And by the way, this is all if it's in range. I'm going to repeat it one more time. So side Stomp, back Stomp, all works. So side Ghost Step Stomp, back Ghost Step Stomp works as normal if you're not in range of someone. If you're in range, side Ghost Step Stomp, side Ghost Step Stomp does Slow Stomp, and back Ghost Step Stomp does Beheading of the Dead. Like that. Okay? Now, for the Smokescreen, it's now doing it even when I instantly cancel. So the Smokescreen looks like when you Smokescreen in range, it goes into Concealment straight after. This is a huge problem because Concealment isn't protected. So if you're close to someone and you go from your super armor into an unprotected move, you get CC'd a lot. Yeah, well now it just seems to be like I'm instantly cancelling Smokescreen after the ninja step, and it's doing Concealment every single time when I'm in range. So now let me show you guys when I'm out of range one more time. Absolutely fine, no issues. I'm tapping A just like I have been. Like this is such a normal cancel. Like we've been doing this on the ninja since the game came out. Smokescreen cancels, and yeah. So like when I'm in range, so that time it didn't work. Like I did it quickly, and it didn't do the Concealment right after. So let's try that again. And that time it went straight into Concealment. So it seems to be hit and miss, but when you're in range and combat assistance is on, it does the Concealment cancel. Let me turn combat assistance off. So when combat assistance is off, it's just working as it's meant to. So yeah, as it's meant to. I'm going to do it a bunch of times here, just to make a point. It's not an input error, it's just combat assistance causing this issue. So as you can see, like with combat assistance off, we have not failed one Shadow Stomp, and not one time have we done a Concealment after a Smokescreen. Not one time. Like every single time, without fail. I didn't even Ghost Step there, so that was just my fault. When I Ghost Step, it works absolutely fine. So let me show you. There we go. So we're not doing Concealment. We're doing side Stomp with 0 issues, no problems at all. Back Stomp with 0 issues. We're doing Smokescreen with 0 issues. So there's something wrong with combat assistance, and it's happened as of the last patch. And it seems to be different for different platforms. So on the Xbox One S, the back Ghost Step Stomp, that worked that time. That's strange. Because it's off. That's why. That's why it worked. So there we go. So the back Ghost Step Stomp does Beheading of the Dead. For me on the Series X, but for him on the Xbox One S, it just does slow Shadow Stomp, and he hasn't got Beheading of the Dead locked. I've already asked. So as you can see, for him, this is what happens instead. He does slow Stomp, and his side stomps are also slow stomps, just like on the Xbox Series X. These freaking Xbox names, bro. Jesus Christ. But yeah, so hopefully that makes it clear. Hopefully this can get fixed, but until it does, just don't use auto aim. You can't use it because your class isn't going to work as normal. All right, I hope this video has been helpful. I'll catch you guys in the next one.